ignorante, quando costa di vero, mettile. Non metti uno da fuori.
Architectural elements of the Baths of Diocletian. The core base belongs to the upper levels of the monumental facade of the Natatio. The other elements were part of the architectural decoration of various parts of the bath. The Charterhouse Gateway. This monumental portal made of marble and travertine rusticated formed the entrance of the Charterhouse of Santa Maria. In the 19th century, where monks abandoned the monastery after Italian unification, the gateway became entrance to the hospice for blind people. Natatio. The large pool Natatio had a surface area of about 4,000 square meters and a depth of around 1 meters. The bottom and walls were clad with marble slabs from Luni, which are still partially preserved and indicated by the flooring that reproduce the size of the ancient slabs. architraves. The architraves were part of the continuous architectural element decorating the facade of Natatio opposite the monumental facade. The Baths of Diocletian. Baths of Diocletian, largest ceremony in Roman world, were built in just 8 years, between 298 and 306, on the site lying between the Vimino and the Curano hills. Numerous public and private buildings were demolished for construction of the complex. The baths, which covered an area of 13 acres and could accommodate more than 3,000 people, were delimited by a large enclosure with its main entrance at the northeast side. Pediment fragment. This portion of the pediment probably belonged to the temple of Gens Flavia, which once occupied the area of Baths of Diocletian. It shows a portrait of the goddess Ceres dressed in tunic.
Poi se ne vuole partecipare,
Sarcophagus with Dionysian scenes, white marble.
come? Ah, sì, vuole passare, no?
Funerary inscription with a draft on the reverse. Masako funerary inscription. Located about 20 kilometers from Rome at the 12th mile of the ancient via Pranistina, Gabi was one of the main towns of ancient Latium. An offering by the chief of a village. This column was set up by the mag of village as a support for gift weighing 50 pounds, which was metal, perhaps precious metal. Communities formed on a territorial basis. Communities formed on a territorial basis also played an important part in the life of later Republican Rome. Their predominantly religious character did not preclude overturns of a political and administrative nature. The emergence of class of liberty. Neither law nor practice declined slaves the hope of obtaining their freedom one day. This was particularly true of certain categories that enjoyed very strong ties with their owners. Through the juridical procedure of manumission, they could be transferred to liberty, a category of free citizens with reduced political and civil rights. They were in fact burdened with restraints due on the one hand their slaves' origin, and on the other hand due to combination obligations which were remained with EX owners as a result. So here you can see a slave could be owned in common, therefore could have multiple owners. Group of Mars and Venus. The sculpture probably belonged to a funerary monument and portrays a couple depicted as Mars and Venus. It was inspired by a model created to celebrate the emperor and his wife, which is probably arranged by drawing two well-known statues. Statue of Marcus Aurelius. Some skeletal characters allow to assess sex and age at death by provide a set of biological data. Male bones tend to be larger and more robust than female ones. Sexual dimorphism appears. The skeletal remains from Castiglione tomb 5 are those of young female, typically display small the process smooth glabular region, and it is around 18 to 20 years based on the development of the third molar crown and the fusions. Large relief of Mithras. The relief depicts the central episode of the myth of the god Mithras, according to an established iconography illustrating the slaying of the bull inside a grotto. Traces of original coloring can be seen on the marble. The votive offer of a cashier. Relief offered at his own expense by a slave. He was in charge of the custody of administration of the collected money under supervision of the chief. The two inscriptions, almost identical, attest that the altars were offered in fulfillment of a vow by Aulus Sabinus. Mithraic relief. The marble relief with substantial remains of the original color and gilding shows a Traroctonia, a slaughtering of the bull by the god Mithras. sanctuary of Janiculum. In the slope of the Janiculum along Via Dandolo, there is a sanctuary where in the 2nd century AD, a cult of Oriental gods was associated to an original archaic one. The head of Mistros belonged to the scuto relief. Polychrome and gilt, replaced at the end of 3rd century AD with great marble relief. Magic container. The container is formed from 3 lead cylindrical boxes inserted onto the other with a convex lid. The magic formula Ablanasanabar in the abbreviated and incorrect form of Ablatanabla is found in the middle box, while in the inside is depicted the demon Abraxas insisted Greek letters on the belly. The magic lamps. The lamps were found in the fountain. 6 of them contained quartz tables. Most of the lamps show no signs of use and are pale in color. According to the magical practice, only new objects were used in ritual, and according to the Greek magical poetry, the lamps should never be red in color. The fountain of Anna Perina, the magical finds. Inside cistern of the fountain we found delivers and unusual magical artifacts. A large copper pot used for witches' magical potions, and several new lamps made purified clay, probably for spells. Flavia Sopi and the Gnostic heresy. The funerary stele is inscribed on the 2 sides and contains a long poem clearly referring to the Gnosticism, a Christian heresy widespread from the 2nd to the 4th century AD. Urn with the Extrarium Unito scene. The urn is depicted by Irenaeus, Hermes, both freedom and the same patron. An urn of one of the slaves of Emperor Vespasian's slave. The dedication is placed to Elius by his wife, had been conferred to a title of Perfectissimus. The tabula of the Ligurius Barbani, bronze slab coming from the city of the Ligurius Barbani near Benevento, probably affixed to the local forum. The document contains a list of non-repayable loans granted to landowners to the area and secured by the mortgage on land value, in return of which the owner paid an annual interest of 5%, around 101 AD. Be archivist. Funerary art are dedicated to Marcellus Trebellius Argolicus, archivist, employed by messengers of the quaestors and assigned to the transport of oils. The altar is dedicated by his wife and by a slave.